I've been trying to paint a picture of what it must have been like to see you standing there, show up at the grave, angels. Okay. It's interesting to me that the angel asks the women who prepared spices for your body why they were seeking the living among the dead. Seems to me they're not the only ones excavating empty holes to fill their own. We are all joy seekers, and you make yourself known in the breaking of bread, pointing back to your death, and my heart burns inside of my chest when you speak. What does it even mean that you gave up your last breath and now you're standing in a room in flesh? Why do you seek the living among the dead? The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and on the third day rise again. Joy seekers, have you found what you've been looking for? Blood-bought joy faced the torture of what it took to pay the bride price, and if the killing of the author of life couldn't extinguish his light, then nothing will. Joy seekers, have you found what you've been looking for? Did you find it in peace? Did you find it in war? All men seek happiness without exception, whatever means they employ or avoid. They all tend to this end. Joy. Seeker, if Pascal was right and the will never takes even the smallest step forward without that motive in sight, did his principle apply to you? And what would have been the difference between the two of us if Satan had offered me the world for a head nod? That's it. Just a little bend at the waist ever so slightly to forfeit suffering and inherit a kingdom. Would I have seen those kingdoms as mud pies? Would I have chosen the slums? Joy seekers, I confess that true happiness now remains to man a mark and empty trace that I seek after from things absent for help I do not presently obtain in vain. But joy seekers, I confess that God came after me. And when I wake to find that I have fallen asleep for the last time, I believe that Christ's sacrifice for me satisfied the fury that should have been breathed out on a creature far too easily pleased with ambition and sex and drink, stacked up against the unblushing promises of a holiday at sea. Joy seekers, if you hear his voice today, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion. Let them break. No, let them be made whole. No, let it all be one and the same. In joy, our seeker endured the cross, despising the shame, and he showed us the marks where he absorbed the pain. Maimed at the same hands that leave nothing outside of their reign, let it be explicit that the image of the invisible God accomplished exactly what he envisioned: a rescue mission, a resurrection mission, a redeeming Adamic insurrection mission, a hand outstretched in one direction mission, a sacrificial, irresistible affection mission. Joy seekers, the cross is cosmic. The earth groans while it waits. You and I will see it, a new Eden, one day. Not yet. Our bodies still remain subject to weakness, aging, and death, but we eagerly anticipate, already born anew to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. Joy seekers, still your power grabs, still your searching. The King is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exult over you with loud singing. Joy seekers, we've been sought after, completely undeserving, and yet in eternity past, the author of life's story wrote life's death to life into his climactic chapter and invited a wife into his storyline to stand by his side. And I'll never grasp the vastness of the fact that the Lamb of God was slaughtered on my behalf, but his resurrection is all I have. His resurrection is all we have. His resurrection is all we need. Jesus, if you're not alive, call us pitied, call it off, call it empty. But if the tomb is empty, call us family, call us finished. Say that our seeking can cease. Joy seekers, you have found him. You have been found by him. You are free.